Welcome back to Good Things Utah, everybody. Talking now about helping our children learn that love never ends, even after death.
Joining us now in the sponsored interview is the author of I Will Be With You Always, Jennifer Morris, to share how her book is making the conversation easier. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So fun to be here with you guys.
This is a hard and challenging topic, but why did you write this book?
Very. Well, part of my story is when I was 5 years old, my mother had died from suicide. And going through life, I came up with a meaning that I just wasn't enough to be able to keep her alive. And going through, tragedies and living with that story, it creates quite a limiting life. But doing through some therapy and angels in my life, I was able to work through that to where now I live a life with a story of where I'm thriving, and I feel that my mother's with me every day, watching over and guiding me.
And Jennifer, here we are all these years later.
Right.
Did it take until now, did it take going through life experiences and perspective to be able to put it down on paper?
You know, I always wanted to write a children's book. I have 5 children and loved storybooks at nighttime, reading storybooks. And so I said, I always would love to write a children's book. However, I had no idea that this is what it would turn into. And it's been such a healing journey.
It seems so fitting that this would be your first children's book. And I think when it comes to books and talking to little kids about hard topics, there's nothing like a children's book to help process what's happening. And a lot of times parents don't know how to talk, but when they read the book, it expands the mind a little bit and helps the healing process.
Exactly, exactly. It's written in like a Dr. Seuss form, so it's rhymes, and it's written especially for children to be able to understand. So a hard topic of death is written in this story where you can sit down with your children and be able to reassure them. In the story, there's a bunny, and Jenny really likes this bunny. So her mother uses her bunny as an opportunity to teach her what love is. And so she separates her from her bunny and says, do you still love your bunny as much? And she said, well, of course. And she said, well, that's what love does. It will connect you forever. So she tucks her into bed and she says, remember this story, this lesson that I've taught you today. During the night, she dies, and her father tells her the next morning. But then Jenny takes her bunny down to the ocean, and she's able to remember what her mother has taught her. And she knows that they will always be connected. And even though she's not with her, she can still feel her on a daily basis.
What's the significance for you of the bunny and the stuffed animal?
So the bunny, after my mother died, I had a stuffed Snoopy doll. And I carried that Snoopy with me everywhere. So it just brought me comfort. It was my security blanket. It was my best friend. And so I wanted to be able to create a stuffed animal for the reader, to be able to have something to hold, whether they lost a child lost a parent. It's just something that will give them security and comfort.
Jennifer, you are Jenny in the book.
I am.
And I bet that was really cathartic to write it on paper. Is there an excerpt that you'd like to read?
Yes, this is my favorite page out of the book. So as a mother, this is, the final farewell that I wish I could give, that we would love to give to our children. So it says, Mommy, tuck me in with my bunny and sit right next to me. Kiss me goodnight, hold me tight, you are my favorite place to be. Oh, my sweet child, how I love you. Never forget what you learned today, that I will be with you always, even when I'm away. And so those are the last words that her mother said to her as she tucked her into bed with those memories. Just please remember the story, that we'll always be connected.
And I think that's the toughest thing to help children understand, is that love goes on.
Yes, yes. And they're going to have questions. Just like we talk to our children about don't do drugs, we need to talk to them and just be able to sit down and read with them, just saying, you know what, if anything ever happens to anyone in our family, know we will always be connected. Even though I may not be here with you, love will always connect us, and that will never go away.
I think with everything happening in Nashville this week, this couldn't be more appropriate. Parents looking for ways to talk to their children about loss and about fear, and not knowing the words to use.
Right. Exactly, exactly. So it's just an easy way to sit down. The words are written for you. Just read the story and then have a conversation. It's really meant to just start a conversation.
Jennifer, thank you for writing this book.
Thank you.
For all the parents and children out there, you can find her book at loveconnectsus.com. She's also on Instagram. We'll have a link on our website. Thank you so much again.
Thanks
and
so
congratulations
much for having me.
on your very first book.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Our thanks to Jennifer Morris for this sponsored interview, and we're back with more GTU after this.